Welcome everyone to our first AFCA meeting. The real main plan about our AFCA this year is to relaunch it out to our coaches, make AFCA relevant to everyone in the region, and just my point of view, could be more passionate about coaching and just the role, particularly of senior coaches and junior coaches, that they have in their club. I think they're the most important person in the club in regards to leadership. So AFCA for me is something that holds a great relevance, I think, and what our plan is over the next year and beyond is to make relevant to everyone. So thanks to everyone for coming along to our first meeting. We had a think tank for our AFCA right back before the Christmas, and the whole plan was to get some great minds in the room, talk about where we think our coaching is and where we'd like it to go, but also how to make coaching education relevant in Bendigo. So out of that, we had a look at the structure of AFCA itself. So the first thing I'd like to talk to you guys about today is just how we may be able to structure AFCA, and also how we might be able to use some of the expertise in the room. And we've got great expertise here. We've got a range of coaches who have coached multiple age groups, but also many years and games of football. So we need to really draw on the experiences within the room and the experience within our region. How do we engage those people into football? Not only male football, but female football as well. And we were fortunate enough to have a female think tank for our female coaches, and that was at the end of January. So we've got some real plans for our female coaches as well, and how do we engage and how do we best educate, not for a service to our female coaches as well. I was fortunate enough to go over to the National Coaching Conference, and a couple of people in the room went over as well. So we're hoping to put some of the things that we learnt over in Adelaide into our AFCA newsletters and share some of those ideas, but also encourage coaches in the future to have a few more from Bendigo at our national coaching conferences. It's a really great opportunity, not only just to hear some fantastic presenters, but also to network and get to talk to other coaches. And it's probably something that we just don't do enough in Bendigo. We're all very busy people. We get in our own little fishbowl at times. You just learn so much just by talking to other people going through the same things that you are. And sometimes even just to vent a little bit about the job. So these are just some of the areas that AFCA has a huge role in: coach education, coach of the year, our newsletters, which I've touched on already, seminars and meetings like this. And we're probably hoping that our AFCA meetings will be very much structured in a way like tonight, where we have a guest speaker, and we're fortunate enough to have Damien Drum with us tonight. But throughout the year, every second month to have a get-together where we can have a guest speaker or two and have a seminar like tonight. But also every second month to provide a PD. And we've got Darren Flanagan doing a tools and ruck session on Wednesday out at Epsom, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. So just to be offering some PD for our coaches, as well as some really great quality guest speakers. So this is, I don't know how clear that is, but this is roughly what the think tank came up with in regards to an AFCA structure. So the first plan was really to help create some relevance to our AFCA, was to have a quality ambassador, and that's where we were fortunate enough to get Damien to put up his hand and be involved, to have someone within the community who has coached at the highest level. It was just too good opportunity not to have him involved, and Damien was kind enough to be our ambassador for 2014 and going beyond. The next step down was we were fortunate enough to have some paid staff. Our resources have widened to what they were, and there's a real opportunity to focus in on coaching, on schools, Auskick, clubs in particular. Clubs are a big one. So, but coaching is obviously why we're all here tonight. So within that group we've got Paul Hamilton, and we're really lucky to have Paul here tonight as well. Again, as someone who's been involved with coaching at the highest level, played at the highest level and coaching at the highest level, and brings a wealth of experience in coaching, and someone, I won't speak for Paul, but someone who's very passionate about coaching himself. We're very fortunate within the hub as well to have Justin Abrams, Justin is a coach. So we've got lots of people at the hub who are coaches. So we feel that's really important as well. The people who have experienced coaching understand the trials and tribulations of it, but also the importance and relevance of coaching. So then the next step down is where we're really also fortunate enough to have our TAC Cup coach in David Newitt and our VFL coach in Aussie Jones to be involved as mentors. And we'll let Jamie talk a little bit more about mentoring later on. But it's a role within our region that we just don't do enough. We've got access to some really great people, and just how we can make some links and open up some of those areas. So I know Dave and Aussie have both been really good to me already in my little role. The next step down is really why I've engaged you guys to be here tonight, and hopefully we can get some nominations to be involved with our subcommittee. And our subcommittee is really going to be the working party for our AFCA, where we decide what PD's needed in the area, where we engage different coaches with different strengths, where we help identify coaches out in the region who may be involved with some of our rep coaching programs and so on, because sometimes we just don't know the strengths that are out in our community. I think that's a big part of it as well. But mainly in helping to upskill our coaches, particularly our junior coaches. It's just such an important time when our kids start playing, to help them keep them in the game, keep them loving the game, and giving them the skills that they're going to need to be lifelong participants in footy, but also to be as good as they can possibly be. So the next step down from there is helping to engage all of our coaches in our region, and that's the big one. How do we get better buy-in from our coaches from under 10 at Sandhurst now, from under 10 at Sandhurst through to seniors at Sandhurst, from under 10s at Maryborough through to seniors. How do we get better buy-in from our coaches? Obviously we've got the challenges of distance, so we will need to be flexible where we hold these meetings. But also, how do we make AFCA meaningful and worthwhile for our coaches, which is a big challenge for us. We decided that it was a really hard split. We had great debate over how to split up our subgroups, but with volunteers for our different areas, we've basically looked at having rep football as one area, having seniors as an area, having youth as an area, juniors as an area, Auskick and female footy. So that's how we sort of broke up our different areas. There might be times where the Auskick and junior body work together, the same with youth and senior, just like our coaching course coming up on the weekend. But what we're looking for is a coach from our subcommittee to be working particularly with each group, helping link with that element of coaching, helping provide opportunities, but just mainly keeping the ear to the ground and talking with coaches in that area, what their needs are, what their wants are, and how we can best service them. So that's just a bit of a snapshot at our AFCA. I'd be really keen to get your feedback on it and how you guys think we can make it feel. But before you leave tonight, if you're interested, let me know. Also, I'll be flicking out, and there's an attendance sheet floating around somewhere. I'm not sure where it is at the moment, but I'll get everyone's name on that sheet. Don't worry about your contact details. I know pretty well everyone in the room. We'll be able to find your contact details. But make sure you get your name down so I don't miss anyone. And I'll be giving you a follow-up email just asking whether you might be interested in being involved in one of our subcommittees. It'll then go to Paul and Justin and myself, and we'll have a look at forming a subcommittee and being able to set our next meeting. Won't be a lot of meetings. Again, it'll be probably once every 2 months or so. We really don't want to exhaust the people in this room, but the expertise is something we really need to draw into.